Hey guys, welcome back. Houston Math Prep here. In this video, we're going to look at working some examples of finding confidence intervals for means with a known standard deviation, and we're going to also use technology to help us calculate these confidence intervals. So let's say we have a setup of you are testing chocolate chip cookies to estimate the mean number of chocolate chips per cookie. You sample 25 cookies and you find that there is a sample mean of 10 chips per cookie. Assume that the standard deviation of the population, or sigma, is 2. Find a 95% confidence interval and interpret. So, we could certainly calculate this by hand, and if that is your preference, I certainly encourage you to do that. But if you have a TI calculator, you can also use what is called a Z-interval in the calculator to do this. So if you want to do that, you're going to first go under the Stat menu. So there is a key that is labeled Stat. Once you get under there, you have 3 headings. You have Edit, Calc, and Tests. You want to go over to Tests, and then you'll see a bunch of options. You want the option that is called Z-interval. Once you bring that up, you have 2 options, Data and Stats. So you want to go over to the Stats button, and then it's going to bring up this list of items. So you're going to type in each of these values. You're going to tell it the standard deviation, your sample mean, your number in your sample, and what confidence level you would like to use. It defaults to 0.95, but of course you can change that to any confidence level that you need. Once you've done that, you'll highlight Calculate and hit Enter, and it will give you your confidence interval. So let's go ahead and gather that information for this problem and see what we get. So in order, we've got our sigma is 2, reading that from the problem. Our x bar, that's our point estimate, so that's our sample mean of 10. So our x bar for this one is 10. N would be the number in our sample, so in this case that would be 25. And then our confidence level, in this case, we are actually going for 95%. Notice here I need to put that as a decimal, 0.95. Now, if I enter that and hit calculate, I will get an interval of 9.216 to 10.784. Now, remember, any time that we present a confidence interval, it needs to include 3 things: the interval, the confidence level, and the context. So we always will report with a statement. So we will say we are 95% confident. So there's our confidence level. That the true mean number of chips is between, so when we said true mean number of chips, that's giving our context of the problem, and then we want to state our interval, 9.216 and 10.784. Now, your answer may vary just a little bit in the way that you state it, but just make sure you've got all 3 of those elements. You've got your interval, your confidence level, and your context for the problem. Okay, let's see that one more time. So, a new sneaker claims that it can make male athletes jump higher. A sample of 45 male athletes is asked to jump once with their own sneakers on and once wearing the new sneakers. The average jump increased by 1.5 inches with the new sneakers. Assume that the standard deviation for the population is 3. Find an 80% confidence interval and interpret. So I'm going to again use that Z-interval function under the Stat menu, and I'm going to go ahead and gather my values. So I need my sigma, that's stated to be 3. I need my x bar, that is stated to be an increase of 1.5 inches. I need the number in my sample. There were 45 athletes asked to perform this test. And then I need my confidence level. In this case, 80% translates to 0.8. So if we were calculating that by hand, then our confidence interval would be 1.5 plus or minus 1.28, which is our confidence level for 80%, or our Z critical for 80%, times 3 divided by the square root of 45. And we could do that. Or if we use the calculator, then we get an interval of 0.927 to 2.073. Now, to interpret that, we want to report the level of confidence, the confidence interval, and the context of the problem. So we are 80% confident that the true increase in jump height with the new sneakers is between, and then state your interval, 0.927 and 2.073 inches. All right, guys, that does it for this video on confidence intervals for means with a known standard deviation. Until next time, we'll catch you later.